in Spokane, Washington, and she's a Black woman who owns a child care, and it's beyond a child care system. She took all of my children to straight A's. My daughter applied for leadership. She's on the spectrum. Like Kara Bowers understood how child care should be, and it was amazing. I dropped them off at the door. I never got to go back, but I knew they were okay. And my daughter said to me, for the first time in my life, I have a provider that looks like me, right? She had a provider that had an afro just like hers. So if we're gonna build our childcare systems back, it will take the support of those that profited during COVID. We're talking about Amazon taking the employees and paying them $60,000 a year, and then paying 3% in taxes while I'm paying 17% in my taxes or more. So we're struggling to get by, living paycheck to paycheck, and wondering what bill we might have to cut next to feed our children and to purchase back to school clothes. Well, I still had a hard time finding childcare because childcare centers were closing at rapid rates and providers are leaving the field for other jobs that pay more. I'm happy to say though, I got a list from Childcare Aware. That was not the first time I got my list from Childcare Aware. And I called around and a woman answered the phone, and her name is Fee. And she said, I think I know who you are, Megan. And I said, I don't know, but I hope you like who I am. Right? Because sometimes we don't make people very happy with what we do. So she said, I'm gonna ask my parents if I can squeeze you in. And I said, look, I'll take one day a week, I need to work. So she squeezed us in, and she took my kids Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, she found a camp for those kids to go to. And Fee is also a gay woman. And so the situation there was beautiful for our children. We knew that they accepted our kids. We knew they were in a great place. But Fee told me the same thing that all the providers on the list told me. I can't keep employees. I can't pay them enough. And the interesting thing, when I toured Fee's center, no one there had gotten COVID. Not a kid, not a parent, not a worker. So they had had no time off. She said there were actually times where I kind of hoped maybe somebody would get a light case so we could take a break. None of her people got a break. None of them. No one had had COVID there. So because of that, also she didn't get like the computers that she could have gotten or she didn't get any of the extra things. So my 4 children attended her childcare center 3 days a week while we waited for full-time opening at a larger center. And then we went back to the Northeast Youth Center in Spokane. And that's the first place that we went to that my daughter was like so excited that she saw somebody that was the same color as her that was a teacher. And I continue to worry about all of this, right? Because if we don't get this capital gains tax, if this doesn't stay in place, what's gonna happen to the families? And what's gonna happen to the families that worked hard during COVID and we have to support? So I don't know if I'd be able to stay afford working full time. So I worry about the small steps that I've made forward that aren't going to be enough. We must shout from the rooftops that this is vital for so many families like mine.